Hello there.
So we are going to discuss some big Godzilla Kong Supernova leaks that have hit the internet here in the past few days, or at least rumors about what we are set to see in this upcoming film.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Crazy stuff, including supposed supernova forms for familiar titans, as well as Kong getting some kind of like power mech armor or something potentially, as well as a big hint that we are going to see Godzilla Jr. And like I said before I even get into the video, take this all with a grain of salt, because on this channel here, all I'm doing is reporting you guys the information that I am finding on the internet, okay? I am not an exclusive leaker. I don't have exclusive information about these movies. I don't have people reaching out to me with exclusive information other than if somebody drops a comment or something in my video. I'm not really an insider like that, okay? So what I'm going to report on you right now for this video, what I'm going to report on is actually from 4chan. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, then consider subscribing, and let's get into the video.
The Atomic Fair.
Like I said, this leak here is coming from 4chan, so take what you will from this information. This person could very well just be compiling information based on the most current rumors for the movie, and then you also have to consider that 4chan isn't the most reliable leak source. But I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the leaks that came out for Godzilla Kong Supernova Godzilla Kong The New Empire ended up being true. It's not like Jurassic World Rebirth where we find out that a lot of this stuff is fake. A lot of this stuff ended up being legit going into Godzilla Kong The New Empire. So this is coming from an anonymous person over on 4chan who had this to say about Godzilla Kong Supernova. A good friend of mine recently had the opportunity to appear as a background extra portraying a scientist type character in the upcoming blockbuster Godzilla Kong Supernova. While on set, he managed to catch a glimpse of what appeared to be concept art, heard some plot details through some behind the scenes chatter, and shared a few details with me. Keep in mind, everything he told me is secondhand. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan myself, so I may not fully grasp the deeper implications of this information in relation to the franchise or previous MonsterVerse films. In the scene he participated in, he played a scientist evacuating a high security facility under attack by a giant monster. Other scientists were on high-tech computers scrambling to coordinate with other global outposts as similar incidents appeared to be happening worldwide. There was talk of lost communication with a moon base. Some of the information he picked up on may have been distorted through games of telephone or possibly even intentional misinformation circulated among the cast and crew, but there was talk of supernova forms being planned for a few fan favorite monsters, including Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and a smaller, goofy-looking lizard monster, which was described as looking like a midget version of Godzilla after it went from crawling on 4 legs to awkwardly waddling upright on 2. It also sported its own blue laser beam. He also briefly saw blueprints for what looked like a giant robot. While he didn't get a good look, he said it had a more humanoid build, and he heard that its body could separate and attach to King Kong. Not sure how that's supposed to work. Towards the end of the shooting, he heard rumors about the film taking the monsters to space and was told Godzilla would battle on the moon. The main villain was kept top secret, but based on everything he'd seen and heard, it sounded like this movie was going to be absolutely wild. Man, here we go again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the thing that makes me feel like this guy could be, telling somewhat of a truth from his point of view is that he never once calls them Titans. He really doesn't seem to know anything about the MonsterVerse. He really does call them monsters, and then when he mentions Kong, he calls him King Kong, which is kind of funny because Kong in the MonsterVerse is kind of just called Kong. He's not really ever called King Kong. So this is very interesting here. Take it all with a massive grain of salt, but I have to think that if this is, for whatever reason, real, the humanoid robot that we're seeing or hearing about is going to be Jet Jaguar. It has to be. That's the only thing that makes sense. Trapper's probably going to control him, and then it would, I mean, honestly, if Jet Jaguar could morph onto Kong and be like an add-on and give him a mechanized armor, man, I don't know. That sounds kind of sick. That sounds kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. Other stuff that's really crazy here is talking about Godzilla potentially fighting on the moon. That sounds absolutely insane if it is real. And then also the big Godzilla Jr. information, which is stuff that I have been talking about for a long time. If this ends up being real, then it sounds like we're set to see Godzilla Jr. in the upcoming MonsterVerse movie with this bodysuit armor thing. I feel like if it is Jet Jaguar, it's gonna also double as like a Mechanic Kong suit for Kong. I feel like that's something we could see in this movie. And when they go on to talk about Supernova forms, that is kind of crazy to me. Are we gonna see Mothra turn into Mogira in this film if this stuff is real? Obviously, we're gonna see a new form for Godzilla. That kind of goes without saying. At this point, they gotta sell the toys. We're gonna see something new for Kong. But Supernova forms of Rodan and Mothra would also make sense from a merchandising point of view, man. They want to sell those freaking toys. But I'm very curious to see just how insane this movie is going to be. I'm starting to get a really crazy feeling about this movie, so I'm really hoping it ends up materializing the right way, because I was just extremely disappointed by Jurassic World Rebirth, and it has me very hesitant about future Jurassic films. I don't want to see that in the MonsterVerse, but stuff beyond that, like Mothra and Rodan apparently returning in this film as well, is very interesting. We will have to see as we get closer to the film, but lately in the 2020s, I'm starting to feel like movie production studios are doing this thing where they're going online, they're figuring out what bits of fan service they want to put in the movie based on what people want most, because I'm seeing this over and over, whether it was Doctor Strange 2 or Spider-Man No Way Home, or even other films like Godzilla Kong the New Empire. They seem to be trickling in little bits of fan service that people want, and a lot of one thing that people have been wanting a lot is the return of classic Toho Titans that previously appeared in Godzilla King of the Monsters. So take this all what you will, guys. I mean, if you want to believe it's real or not real, you know, I'm kind of indifferent on it right now. We don't really know. We don't have enough information. Something about, you know, an extra having all this kind of information is a little crazy to me, but an extra would also probably get a lot of little hidden plot details based on the fact that they're just sitting around on set all day listening to people talk about the plot of the movie. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This is absolutely crazy, though. It is definitely a lot to digest, and stuff like this right here is why I love reporting on leaks and rumors, because at the end of the day, it does just get you hyped either way. But it'll be very interesting to see if any of this stuff ends up materializing in the movie. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this leak is real? Do you think it's full of shit? A lot of the people on 4chan are just kind of brushing it off as nonsense. But a lot of people tend to do that, and then a lot of the leaks and rumors do end up being true. We've seen it time and time again, like with the D-Rex from Jurassic World Rebirth, or with Shimo in Godzilla Kong the New Empire. A lot of people didn't really believe when the name was revealed and everything and leaked out. A lot of people thought it was bullshit. But anyways, guys, comment down below what you think about all this stuff. I'm gonna go. So until the next video, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.